Hello friends, in this video we are doing the study of the boundary conditions. Now we are learning a finite element analysis. In a finite element analysis we are solving the problems on a elasticity. To solve the elasticity examples there is a need of the equation of equilibrium, compatibility and the low boundary conditions are required. The physical significance of this that the rigid body or a structure is free to experience a rigid body motion unless the kinetic constraints are imposed to make it equilibrium in touch. Now what does it mean? We know very well. Now see, this is my object. Now this object, if I look towards this object, let us take another diagram. This is my free body diagram. Now this is my free body diagram. Now in this free body diagram, this is the elastic element. Let us take this the elastic element. Now it one is free to move in this direction or in this direction or in this direction or in this direction. So this diagram can possibly to move in any direction. So this is free to move in any direction. So that is called as a rigid body motion. Now if we keep this body is free from the motion, then what is happened that just it one is moving in any direction. So ultimately we could not be solve this problem very easily. For that purpose we need to subject a, a certain constraint on this object. So what we can do, if I keep a constraint at one end, let us take this one, this side I have restricted for the movement. If I am keeping a restriction to this movement, then automatically this object could not be moved in any direction. It can be only elongated into this direction, or if I apply any compressive force on this one, that time there is a possibility of the movement in this direction. So this is only possible. This is only possible. So this is called as the constraint. Now with this constraint we are able to define the boundary conditions into a problem. Now we knows very well generally the elastic problems are solved by using the differential equation. So whenever we are solving the differential equations, the boundary conditions are classified into the two categories. One is called as the essential boundary condition and the another one is called the natural boundary condition. Now what is mean by the essential boundary condition and what is mean by the natural boundary conditions? Now essential boundary conditions are the set of the boundary conditions that are sufficient for solving the differential equations completely, and natural boundary conditions are the higher order derivative terms and are not sufficient to solve the problems. It means that whenever we are applying the boundary conditions, we need to find out first of all, are these boundary conditions are sufficient to solve the problem, solve the differential equation of the problem. If that conditions could not able to solve the differential equation of the problem, then we consider that one as called as the natural boundary condition. That one are called as the natural boundary condition. What does it mean? That those boundary constraint are not able to solve the differential equation of the finite element analysis, then that is called as the natural boundary condition, while which are helping to solve the problem of a differential equation, then it is called as the essential boundary conditions. Now how to define this one? Let us take the EBC, that is the essential boundary condition. These boundary conditions place the constraint on the magnitude of the displacement and the slope at any given position on the boundary. Let us take this the problem. This is the bar, and this bar having the UDL, uniformly distributed load. So when the load is applied, now this one is in a fixed condition. So when this is the fixed condition, so here whatever the boundary condition applied, so at point x, at point 1, the x is equal to 0, and in the displacement along the y direction, that is also 0, because now at a point 1 it could not be extended to this direction, or this could not be moved to the this direction. That's why at a point 1 the x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, while the slope dy by dx is also equal to 0. Hence these conditions are called as your essential boundary conditions. These are called as the essential boundary conditions. Essential boundary conditions. Now let us move for the natural boundary condition. Now these are the constraints placed on the boundaries with respect to the magnitude of the forces and the moments, that is called as the natural boundary condition. Now if let us take at the point B2, what has happened at the point 2 x is equal to L. Hence the shear force, if I apply the shear force, if I put given the condition of the shear force, that shear force is equal to, if this is the condition, that is the EI d cube y dx cube, or the bending moment. If these conditions are given, if these conditions are given at the point 2, then such type of the conditions are called as the natural boundary condition, because these are not sufficient to solve the problem. Instead of that, it one is helping to understand the problem, while it one is very easily solved, or it can be calculated by using your essential boundary conditions. So that whenever you observe a higher derivatives, then you need to consider this one is the your natural boundary condition whenever you are looking towards the partial differential equations or the differential equations. Then let us take a very simple problem, or the differential equation, which one is called as the governing equation of the moment. So d by dx is equal to E elastic limit cross sectional area displacement is plus, that is q is equal to bending moment is equal to 0. Now this is the equilibrium condition. This q is equal to minus q is equal to force into distance, so that is equal to bending moment. So d by dx E elastic limit into a into du by dx plus q is equal to 0. This is my governing differential equation. Now this problem can be solved by using the following condition. If u is prescribed at the one end, if u is prescribed at the one end means, what does it mean? That let us take this problem is looks like this one. Okay, now here the certain force is applied at this end, the force is applied at this end. So now let us take that u at a both end. If I am knowing the u is prescribed means the displacement at this end. So let us take now, if this is fixed, so that is u is equal to 0. Here the u is equal to 0. Now if I consider here the u is also given, that is the u is equal to at this end u is equal to 1 or 2. So 1 or 2, then 1 or 2, then we are knowing these conditions, and these conditions are sufficient one to solve the problem. That's why these are called as the essential boundary condition. Now if we consider the u as is prescribed at the one end, let us take u is prescribed at this end, and du by dx at the other end. Du by dx is given into the other end. Now du by dx, if you looks towards the du by dx, if this du by dx is given at this end and du by dx is given at this end, so ultimately this is not fixed. So if this is not fixed, it one is varying, so ultimately this value could not help to give the solution. That's why this is a your natural boundary condition. So du by dx is your natural boundary condition, and u is your essential boundary condition. Similar way, there is the another classification of the boundary condition, that is the homogeneous and non-homogeneous. So whenever you are looking towards the problem, you need to see first of all that the movement is completely prevented or not. So whenever I am just here also, again I have mentioned the same issue. Now see, if the movement is restricted, this is the movement, this is the restriction. So if you looks towards the problem and if the movement is restricted, then that is called as the homogeneous boundary condition. If the restrictions is not given, then that is called as the non-homogeneous boundary condition. So this boundary condition plays a very important role to solve finite element problem. So this is the very perfect concept, or this is the very important concept to solve the finite element analysis. I hope you keep in your mind, because this concept is always required to solve all types of the finite element analysis. Thank you for watching the video.